All right, what's up, Tycoon? Super excited for today's video. We are going to be taking a look at Palantir, okay? Good old PLTR, all right? Now, I did sell this one over a year ago, but I'm going to tell you guys why I bought back in, okay? The first thing I want to highlight is this thing has been respecting the fibs very, very well, okay? Um, what I mean by that is all of these price targets that you're seeing here and all of these levels, right? All of the lines on the chart are going to be from the Fibonacci tool, okay? Now what it's going to do is it's going to give you some price targets to look for once you get past your breakout level, right? Your breakout level is going to be this level here in blue, all right? And I saw a very strong potential once we started trading below here for us to come all the way down and hit the 161.8 and the 261.8 on Palantir. All right. A lot of bearish setups. We had the bear flag right here. Okay. Come down to the level and look exactly where we gapped down, right? When we gapped down, it was exactly to that bear flag target. All right. Now, why am I saying that I bought back in, right? Well, I'm holding some Palantir right now, some Palantir plays, because right here we have what's known as a lower low, right? So a LL lower low, right? Look at our RSI right here. That's our bottom. The RSI starts an uptrend, okay, to the upside, while the stock is continuing to make a low, right? And a lower low. Right now, look at where we bounced. Okay, we bounced directly on that 261.8 level on the fibs. So ultimately, once we got the breakdown below our 100% level, our blue breakout level, okay, we hit our first price target, and then we came down and hit our second price target. All right. But now that we've gotten that out the way, right? This is a potential bottom. I don't think it may be a permanent bottom, right? For the rest of 2022, or it may not, right? With this rally could fail and we could come back down and create new lows. But for the moment, all right, again, we're highlighting that bullish divergence. We have a low, lower low, and a higher low on the RSI. The RSI stands for the relative strength index. So it's going to show you the strength of the stock at the current price that it's at. So even though the price was making lower lows, right, and going lower and lower, right, the strength was actually increasing. We have a low here, and then we have a higher low right here. All right. So that's a sign that you may see some bullishness in the future. All right. It's never a 100% guarantee, because if it was, we would all be millionaires. All right. Now, I'm going to show you the important levels that I'm looking at currently. Okay. Currently, I'm using the fibs again, right? And here are the most important levels that I'm personally watching, right? We have this nice daily gap up here, okay, to just under $14. All right. These gaps fill 90 to 95% of the time historically in the stock market. The biggest question is when, right? When would this gap fill? We can look at the past, right? Okay, and we can see that on earnings, there was a huge overreaction to the downside, right? And that created our initial gap right here from these two candlesticks. Okay. Well, look at when it filled. All right. And it ended up filling, let's say this is the ninth right here. Okay. We're looking at the ninth. All right. The gap ended up coming and filling in between about the 30th and the first. All right. So, let's just call that about a month. Okay. A month and a half, or yeah, right around a month. The gap went ahead and filled. Okay, so really, really interesting stuff there, right? Look at what would just happened. Again, Palantir gapping down on earnings, you don't say. Okay, and will it create that same pattern of filling the gap from earnings, right? Because not only do we have this gap up here to the 14 range, okay, we also have this gap here to about $11. Okay, now we do still need to be cautious. Okay, our 50% level is holding on the current, from up from the current highs right here. Okay, so we have our current highs, and we've retraced the move from this bottom here about 50%. Okay, that's what this 50% retracement is, and we held it nicely. All right, each time we have gone below this level, you can see that buyers stepped in very quickly. Right, we have a wick here, we have a wick here, we have a red close below. The next day we wick below and start to recover back up. Okay, so currently we are battling the 1053 resistance, and we have flipped 965 from resistance to support. Okay, we opened above, all right, closed above, and then now the previous day we retested level, opened and closed above as well. All right, so Palantir is showing some good signs. Right, we do need to be cautious if we break this 50% retracement level at 904. We most likely are going to be heading down to fill this gap here right above $8. Okay, so you have to be mindful of that. You know, have to have some type of risk to reward or some type of risk management before entering into any positions. For me personally, I'm going to be holding Palantir as long as we are above this 904 level. Okay, in hopes that we move up to fill this gap here. Now, once we fill this gap, I will start to be taking some profits on Palantir. Okay, but there's a chance that we could continue the uptrend and come up to here. All right, so that's really where I'm at with Palantir right now. You know, it's got the bullish divergence. All right, we went over the bullish divergence trend line, and that's going to be this trend line down here. Okay, so if you're not in Palantir currently, what you can do is you can wait for it to fall closer towards this trend line and look to get a bounce, right? And if we come down, you know, consolidate a little bit and break below, start trading below, you can cut your play, right? So it gives you a much better risk to reward ratio versus buying blindly up here. And then let's say all of a sudden it dips down, right? Let's say it dips down, fills this gap, okay, and comes down, bounces off of the trend line and starts going back up again. Okay. So, you know, there's a lot of scenarios that can play out, but you know, with the market going strong right now, so many stocks have been performing very, very well. If we look at Palantir from those lows, even to its current price right now, it's up over 58%. So really amazing stuff going on there. But you know, we just have to keep mindful of the risks, okay? Because we all want the reward, but nobody wants to talk about the risks. So it's very good to have a little bit of risk management analysis on some areas where you know, I would be cautious or some areas where I would be taking profit. Okay, not to give financial advice, but just to give a little bit of some clarity and provide some levels that you could try to chart up on your own screen as well.